I think it's the enhancing the experience. It's spending time with people that are like-minded, smart. They're going to add. They're intelligent. They're going to challenge you. So it's being a lot of work finding those people. And then I found this guy.
Welcome to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Here's your host, Marcus.
Welcome to another episode of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy, the number one sugar dating podcast in the world, and even Brazil, where we pull back the curtains on the good and the bad. And Lily,
The medicated.
are you medicated?
Slightly medicated.
Well, no, we're talking about the shocking stories of sugar dating.
If you say so.
Lily's a little under the weather. Did you get that in Vegas?
I think so.
On the
I think
plane?
it was on Southwest Airlines.
Yeah.
I might have caught something.
Yeah.
I thought what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Oh, we brought it home.
Brought it home.
We sure did.
All right. Well, Short King piped up before I even introduced him, you little bastard.
Well, I couldn't let that comment go.
Anyway, so look at these boots. What do you think, Short King?
I love the boots. I mean, we're talking red, sparkly rhinestones with matching earrings, and
Yeah.
then the purse, and then the top. It's amazing.
Lily has got it going on. I'll tell you what.
I'm fashionable even when I'm under the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a picture, throw it on Patreon. Now, if you guys have not joined Patreon yet, you are missing out, and let me tell you why. It's only $10 a month to become a VIP member of the show. You can join for free, and you'll get some previews, but to get the full effect, you want to join as a member. And here are some things that you get. You get to listen to all episodes before they are released to the public. The ones that we release on Tuesday and the extra sugars on the weekends, we will load those up before anybody else, and you get to hear those first. Second, you get to see fun pictures that nobody else gets to see. You also will be invited to our next party first before anybody else. And Lily, what is the other benefit that you actually performed, I think today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
All right.
If you need help with your profile, just hit us up. Let us know. I actually helped a gentleman yesterday with his profile. And I wanted to see exactly what his profile looked like. And so I found him on there and I said, "Hey, I found you." And he's like, I don't know. I need you to prove who you are because I listened to this podcast called Secrets of a Sugar Daddy, and they warned me about all the flakes and scammers. So give me your social security number so I can run a background check on you. And he goes, "Oh, wait, nope. I see the sparkly boots in your pictures. This must be the real Lily."
I saw that message. That's hilarious. So what'd you do to his profile? Did you redo it or?
I redid it. Yeah, I redid it. And then I redid it given the information that he already had on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I asked him some additional things that I think he should incorporate. And so he was really pleased with what I did, just with what I knew, what I could glean from looking at his current profile.
Right.
But he gave me some more information, so I'm going to play with it some more and improve it even further.
Good. So all of those benefits for $10. That's the bargain of the century.
It truly is.
Yeah.
Because I usually charge $25 an hour.
Well, you charge me $25 an hour. Yeah. But
Well, I
we
guess
don't charge
$10
our
a
members.
month, it adds up, right?
Yeah, it adds up. So anyway, go to patreon.com/Secrets of a Sugar Daddy podcast to become a member today. Don't wait. I'll put a link to it, bottom of the description of this podcast. Let's see. Anything else? I think we're ready to get to our guest.
I mean, Trucker and I are busy remodeling our new home
Oh,
so
that's
we can get
right.
moved in.
Yeah.
What
Well, you know what?
else?
I'll
we
go ahead
just
and
got back from Vegas, but this isn't my show, so
Yeah.
let's
Well,
get
I'm
to
going
our
to go
guests.
ahead and plug. I have launched a website in the Arizona area only for now. So well, we got a lot of listeners in Arizona. So if you need work done like Lily needs work done on her house or any other projects, go to bidonwork.com. And we just launched it this week, and we are in the beta version. We're testing it. We want to hear your feedback, any likes, dislikes, bugs, let us know. But you can post a job on there. You get competitive bids. You can choose who you want to work with. It's going to be a great source to get shit done.
Now, how do you find it? You type in www.bidonwork.com.
Just like it sounds, yeah. Or you can just go to bidonwork.com.
Okay.
So that's bid, BIDON, work, bid on work.
Got it.
There you go. Pretty straightforward. The site does exactly what it says. So
I'm excited about it because
Yeah.
there's so many times where I'm trying to figure out an economical way to get quality work.
Yeah. I've been working on this for over 10 years. I actually launched it back in 2014. Unfortunately, I went through a divorce and there was some tussle and tuggle. Is that a word? Tuggle?
It is not.
Struggle
But
over ownership
I think
of the
if
site.
the future president of the United States says a word, it automatically becomes a word.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Marcus for president.
Oh, there you go. So anyway, I had to shut it down during the divorce, and then life happened. And it just took me a long time to get back at it. But we've got about, I hate to say this, $500,000 invested in this thing. So if you're in the Phoenix area, go to there, help me out, post some jobs. Or if you're a worker, bid on some jobs and let me know how it works for you. All right, on to our guest. We actually have a little surprise in here, but Short King came to town and says, hey, let's do an episode. And I haven't seen him since the party. And I know he went off to India to do something. We're going to find out, but welcome back to the show, Short King.
Hey, thank you. I think it's funny that you said we have a little surprise, and I thought that was me.
No,
You know,
you're
the-
actually
the
not
short-
the little surprise.
The little surprise.
Now, you
It's
know,
like, man, they're already flying out with the short jokes already.
Yeah. You know, you come up almost in every episode now. I don't know if you're getting caught up or not since you've got back from India.
Yeah,
Is that where she went? India?
India, yes.
All right, tell
and
us
I
a
have
little
been.
about that.
I have been. Yeah, so I went to India, right before leaving. Just there were so many things that were going wrong, so many problems that I was having, and it seemed like every direction I would turn, there was a problem. So for instance, if things aren't going great for your business, then maybe things are going really well with your family, or you have like something in your life that's working. But it seemed like I was just having everything in my life was just not working well for me. And then I would have people just out of the woodwork asking for money. Friends that are having like massive financial crises, some family members that were having massive financial crises. And I'm a kind and generous person. And so I found myself just giving out money constantly. And then it was one of those things where it's like, in the past month, I've given out a lot of money that I know I'm never going to see again, even though everybody says, it's just a loan. I never am going to see again. And it became one of those, I've really got to put my own oxygen mask on before helping someone else, because it was so much. And I didn't have direction. Like I didn't know what to do to fix the problems. So one of my business mentors said, hey, you really should go to India, which is so funny. It's like when you're having problems in life, just disappear, and it's like so counterintuitive, and I really fought that idea. But yeah, I went to India. I totally disconnected. No internet, no cell phone. It was a silent experience, so little to no talking. The food was very bland because it's not there to excite any senses. There's no caffeine, no alcohol, no sex. Which
Now, this was a
rough.
structured program you
Structured
signed
program.
up for?
Yeah, I know. I signed up for this. Yes. Yes.
Well, no.
This sounds worse than prison.
Honestly, it felt like prison. And everybody's wearing white. When I got there, lots of alms. I mean, we had 4 different nights where we meditated from midnight till 6 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Meditated.
Meditated.
You would just sit there and do what?
Well, it was guided.
Oh,
so,
guided.
It was so funny because the people who were guiding the meditation, the monks that were guiding the meditation, would talk so slow. I was like, man, if we just talked at a normal pace, we could shorten this 4-week experience to 2.
Yeah.
Because it was
were
so
they
slow.
talking in English?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And they would be like,
With thick Indian accents?
yeah. It'd be like, and now it focus on the Agnya chakra.
So it's pretty much like calling customer service.
It was, yeah. Actually, it was really funny? Right when I landed, I had a problem with QuickBooks. So when I landed, before everything started, I'm on customer support, and I call customer support, and it's an Indian, and I was like, this is so funny. I'm in India, and I'm calling an Indian from India. It was amazing. I was just
Shocking.
like, it was shocking. It was just shocking.
So you were there for 30 days, and
Yes.
did you come back a changed man?
Absolutely. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't like sex.
That doesn't
But
go.
just before I left, because I didn't know, I was open to being whatever I was led to be while I was there. So right before I left, I had a bucket list thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to have sex with 7 different women in 7 days.
And
And I did it right before I left.
I know, I do remember that.
Was it more fun or was it more exhausting?
It's always fun.
Yeah.
Lily, it's always fun.
Now, remind the listeners how old you are.
You slut.
Yes. Yeah. Well, pretty much. I actually had my birthday while I was in India, so I turned 39, and it's really funny because I got my dates off. Like, I don't have a phone, I don't have a watch, I don't know what day it is. I have no idea what's going on. I'm trying to keep track of days by how long it takes my laundry to come back because it's like a 3-day turnaround. And so I'm like journaling, but I get off on my journal. I actually missed my birthday.
Really?
Yeah, I missed my birthday.
So who took care of business while you were gone?
My staff, I mean, they did a great job.
You weren't worried about everything just imploding?
No, honestly, I wasn't. Just from the standpoint of like, I have amazing people that are there,
Okay.
and that really have my back as well. So if there was any sort of massive problems, they weren't going to all jump ship while I'm gone. You know what I mean? I'm not going to come back to having like one person left working for me and everybody decided to leave. Everybody's that works for me is very loyal. And even though the company isn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and of course people would love to be paid more and all of those things, they're very much behind the mission and what we're trying to accomplish. So,
Very committed.
very
That's
committed.
nice.
Yeah.
All right. So now that you're back, what's your plans and goals?
Yeah. So
I mean, you are a very popular character of the show now. You know
yes,
that, right?
I've been trying to catch up on the show, and I've heard. I mean, I can't wait for the next party because I'm coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming.
So it's been a while. You're still talking to people that you met at the party.
Yeah, and in fact, Victoria, which is so funny because she's the 5'11"
Oh, yeah.
dancer, right? So Victoria and I have really hit it off. It's so funny because she is,
She hit it off with everybody, Short King.
well, she's gorgeous. Of course, she's gonna hit it off with everybody.
Well, besides gorgeous, she's got a wonderful personality.
Yeah, she really
She
does.
was a great addition to
She
that
really,
party.
really,
yeah.
really was a lot of. It's so funny because we talk about like when you're searching on your profiles, I set 5'8" because I'm 5'4", right? So 5'8" is like my limit. But honestly, and I told it to Victoria when I had her fly to Chicago. She was one of the 7, which she was very happy to be one of the 7 women in 7 days.
Jeez.
She was the last one. Actually, was number 7.
Yeah.
I think you should make a calendar.
No, I did, and I did make a calendar, and it was so funny because Elena, I totally baited her. So in our WhatsApp group for the Sugar Advisors group that we have, I posted in there. I posted a calendar, and I had the names of every girl for the nights.
I remember
No,
that.
I mean like a pinup calendar. They each get a month now.
Kind of like Dr. Charles. Remember
Yeah,
when
Dr.
he had
Charles had a sugar baby calendar.
Yeah, where his office staff made a calendar with all of his sugar babies on there.
Wow.
That was pretty
And
cool.
there was some hotties.
Yeah, he brought it to the podcast.
Wow.
Showed us. Yeah, it was fun.
I think
Yeah.
you deserve one, Short King.
I
for
would love
sure.
it. I would love it. So it was so funny because Elena, I knew she was going to see it because her name wasn't on the list. And I didn't have one for Thursday night. And so Thursday night was a question mark. And then, of course, almost right away on that WhatsApp group, she posts and she's like, hey, where's my name? And I was like, I was hoping you were going to take Thursday.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay,
Yeah.
where are you at with your engagement?
It's a good question. Good question. I mean, it definitely has some ups and downs.
Well,
So Molly was not excited when I posted the list of girls and her name was on there. She didn't appreciate her being one of the 7. And it was so funny because I'm talking to another girl and she's like, I would be pissed if I wasn't one of the 7 if I was with you. And then another girl was like, she should feel privileged to be one of the 7. I'm like, hey, listen, ladies, she has the right to feel how she has to feel.
Well, yeah, because she's baby number 1, right?
She's baby number 1 and she was night number 1. I mean,
Oh. Yeah,
but she didn't love it.
I would want to be night number 1 for
Yeah.
sure.
And she could have been every night as well. I could have doubled up.
Lily,
Short King's ready to double down.
Double down.
Lily, what would your thoughts be if this was Trucker sitting in this chair?
Well, we just don't have the same kind of open relationship
Right.
nor poly dynamic. So, yeah, it would never be a conversation the two of us would have.
Let me ask you this, since Short King brought this up. This happens to me a lot too, what was happening to him with people wanting to borrow money, quote unquote. Does that happen a lot to Trucker? Because he's a very generous guy.
I think, yeah. I think it does. And he's just so giving and generous. It's hard for him to say no.
I know.
I
It's
think
tough
he's
for us.
really been
It's
taken
very hard.
advantage of in the past. Not as much currently, but he's told me a lot of things. Okay, let's put it this way. Like, you don't even have to ask him. My son-in-law was in a very bad car accident, so he's been out of work for a couple of months. And they've been coming back and forth to doctor's appointments, and he's got an upcoming surgery. Just came up last weekend for MRI, CT scan in preparation for his surgery. And trucker noticed that their vehicle, that the tires were really worn and needed to be replaced. And he just took it and put all new tires all the way around without anybody asking. He just noticed and just did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why we like
amazing.
Trucker.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's weird too, because I'll have, and this is a great thing to talk about. I firmly believe the best arrangements are PPM because it is very clear and nobody gets hurt over time. Nobody ends up upset. So, for instance, I had one girl recently, she was like in a pinch and she's like, hey, can you pay me for like the next 4 times we see each other?
I've had that happen to me too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
Oh,
Can you forward my
Gosh.
ATM?
yeah. Yeah.
Did
and
you
so-
do it?
Of course he did. Look at him.
I'm like turning red right now.
He's
But
a
yes,
softie.
I am. I'm a softie. And Molly was so upset. She's like, why did you do that? You knew it was going to happen. I was like, I know. And it's hard because she's got like kids and she's in this like legal battle.
Well,
It's
they all
like-
have a sob story.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
We all do.
Yeah. So anyway, I saw her one more time. So.
And that was
and
it.
that was it. Yeah,
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh, and then she ghosted you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That reminds me. So
Despicable.
in my memories, there's popping up photos of things that were going on, this year. And I mean, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years. So 2 years ago at this time, I had this sugar baby I was seeing. I was seeing her for a couple months. And she was always, like when she said she was going to do something, she did it, right? So she said, hey, I'm coming to see you. And she had to drive about 40 minutes from this town south of Phoenix, right? So she sends me a picture. She goes, hey, my car, I got a flat on my car. I don't have a spare. I'm waiting on the tow truck. And she sends me this picture of her on the side of the road. And I'm like, okay. She goes, can you send me the money for the tire and the tow truck? And I said, sure. She only asked for $200, but I said, well, that's not going to get you very far. I'll send you $300. And then she says, okay, they're towing me back to town. As soon as I get it on, I'll head that way. That's the last I ever heard from her. And then I find her on social media. She got back with her old boyfriend.
You wonder if she actually had a flat tire.
I know. I'm wondering,
Like,
was
did
I
this
set up
actually
this
have a
whole
flat
time?
tire?
But she'd always been a woman of her word. Every time something came up, she actually went through with. I had no reason not to believe her this time.
Well, in anybody that's listening to this podcast, just be honest. Just be honest. It's okay if you're not into the person. It's okay if you are with someone else. It's okay if you don't feel like, from the guy's perspective, if the sex isn't all that great, you can be nice and just say, hey, I just don't want to do this anymore. But ghosting is the worst.
Oh, it is.
It's just
Yeah.
the worst.
it's just rude.
It's rude. Yeah.
Give the person closure.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, sometimes when people ghost, you wonder if they died. You legitimately do.
Oh
I
my God! And I
sometimes
had
wonder
one
that.
that did.
That did die?
She didn't ghost. Well, 2 years
She
ago.
literally ghosted.
Well, like I was. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. No, I talked about her on the podcast before, but she messaged, I missed a call from her on August 3rd. And then I never heard back from her again. And then October, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Nothing. And then I messaged her like, hey, are you ignoring me? Nothing. Come to find out she died August 8th.
Wow.
And then the family she was 29. She was about to turn 30.
Thanks for putting a damper on the conversation.
No,
Wah,
but
wah, wah.
like, yeah, I know that. I don't know why I brought that. You brought that up.
I brought it up.
Damn it. Yeah, but anyway.
But the
sometimes
point
it
is,
happens.
yes.
Yeah.
I have legitimately had amazing arrangements, great connections, seen the person multiple times, and then they ghost. And then I'm like searching if they're on like whatever, the death certificates or whatever you can find online. I'm like
Oh.
searching for stuff like that. To
I've got
see.
the ultimate ghosting story. She didn't die.
Okay. All right. Well, let's good to start with that. Okay. Good.
All right. So this girl came down and she says, hey, I'm moving to Phoenix. And she brought her 2 kids. And then we went out for lunch. Amazing lunch. We had a 6-hour lunch. I thought she was my soulmate. So this is a Monday. So it's like 6:30. I drop her off. We kiss. It was amazing. The next day, we are texting because she was in real estate and also tech. And I had a real estate and then, of course, trying to launch my tech company back then. And then about noon, she just stopped responding. And I'm like, huh, that's weird. And then that night, I go, hey, you must have got busy. I get it. I'll check you later. Wednesday, I message her, no response. Thursday, I'm like, hey, I don't want to keep bothering you. If you change your mind, that's fine. Just let me know. Like, that's fine. Friday comes, nothing. Saturday. So I go on a golf trip to Augusta to go see the Masters with a buddy of mine, and he's a federal agent. And he's like, he goes, did you check the hospitals? I was like, yeah, I'm calling the hospitals. They don't have her name there. You know, I've checked this and that. I can't find her anywhere. Like, she's just stopped responding. It's the weirdest thing. He goes, she probably got arrested. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, well, you know, I can do some checking when I get back. But anyway, we get back. I call the police to do a welfare check. It's just the weirdest thing. They go to the apartment. I show up, goes in and talks to the manager, comes back out, and he goes, well, your girl's safe. The kids are back with their father in Canada, and you aren't going to be seeing her. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, she's been arrested for kidnapping. So
Her own children.
yeah, it was a custody.
Oh my
it was a
gosh.
custody deal from Canada. So anyway, at noon when she stopped responding, I finally got a hold of her in prison and we talked for a while.
Oh my gosh.
And she told me what happened. She's like, "Yeah, you were texting me."
Did
and I
you
was
do a
texting.
conjugal visit then?
No, this was up in Canada. So she's like, I hear a knock on the door. I walk out. There's guns pointed at me. It was the U.S. Marshals, deputies. And they basically, I had to get on my knees, arrested, turned around, the whole bit. They took her down to like Tucson, took her kids, shipped them back up to Canada. It was a whole mess.
Oh my gosh.
So that's why I
Wow.
got ghosted.
Well, that's a legit reason.
Yeah, she couldn't.
So I guess the
crazy.
point is, even if you're not going to see the person, even if you don't want to give them a reason why, just tell them, I'm okay. I don't want to see you. Because guys, we care. And we will do stuff
Yeah.
like that. We will look at hospital records and worry.
know.
We don't want to worry, and you don't want to make us worry. So just tell us. Just tell us. And guys, same thing. Don't ghost the girls.
Okay, speaking of Short King and his many, many sugar babies, we have yet to introduce the gorgeous
I was
brunette
just-
in the
I
room
was just about to
Yeah.
get there.
that you brought along today.
So we want to welcome Mel, and I don't know your story, so we've got to get that real quick.
Short version, it's hard to give, you know.
Okay, first of all, you're from Brazil, you told us.
Yes, I am.
Originally, how long have you lived in the U.S.?
About 20 years.
20 years. Okay. And then you said you were in Chicago and now live in Florida?
I do, yes.
Okay. How is this connection made with you and Short King?
Well, it's really funny. So there's a group of people in Chicago that we play together. So Elena is part of that group, and there's a few others. I don't know if they've been on the podcast, but
You guys go to the
We
park
go to the
and
parties.
swing?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
yeah,
I'm
this
curious
one's-
if your version of the story is my version
gonna
of
pass.
the story.
Well, I'm going to pass off. I'll tell you what I know, and then I'm going to pass
see
off
that.
to you.
I see that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we were at a massive party on the eve of Eve.
No. See, your version is wrong.
Eve of Eve, what
Well,
is that? New Year's Eve?
New Year's
Yeah,
Eve
but it's
before Eve.
before, yeah.
Oh.
Like the 30th.
But that was another.
But that wasn't the first. But
portion.
this is my remembrance. Okay. So
Oh,
we're at the Eve of
yes.
Eve party.
and then we're
and-
going to get the real
And
story
then you're
from
gonna get the
Mel.
real story.
He's
but
memorable, but he doesn't know that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
I was doing other things. When
He
I
was
go to
busy.
parties, I bartend.
To be fair, you were
I do.
busy.
I was
Yes,
busy. I was
yes.
bartending. And then
So-
I was doing electric stuff.
You were.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
I
I
didn't
wanna
have a chance.
Be able to get a vision of what these play parties look like. So is it just big orgy?
No, it's not just big orgies, but
Damn.
No, it's not. I mean, it can be whatever
It can
you
be.
want. Like,
Has it ever transpired into that?
well, it depends. So, for instance, we went to a party before that. Was it the Halloween party?
I wasn't at the Halloween party. See,
Oh, see, I don't even know. I don't even know how she knows me. I don't
So,
even know.
okay,
So go
He's
ahead.
always
go
in
ahead.
a drunken stupor.
you guys are the reason why I actually
Yeah, that's what it
kind of
is.
know him. So I was invited to a Christmas party before Christmas to a place where this group of friends, and I met. Who was I talking to towards the end of the party?
Elena.
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 Yeah.
Elena, yeah. we're sitting and we're chatting, and I said, oh, hi, like, who are you here with? Because there was a lot of new people in the party, people that did not know each other. So it was a new group. And she's like, oh, I'm here with my sugar daddy. And then I go like, your sugar daddy? I was like, oh, okay, please tell me more. I was not really familiar with the concept besides just use that as, just making jokes but I didn't know it was such a thing,
Okay, so this was just roughly 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and she's like, here, get my number. And if you want to talk more about it, and I'm happy to connect with you. And then she's like, but, and then my sugar daddy has a fiance. And I was like, whoa, this is like, like, what the heck?
This is surreal.
And I'm like, whoa, I like this. Like, okay, I'm definitely reaching out to this girl. But then I start doing my own research, and she actually mentioned about the podcast. She's like, in the meantime, why don't you go and start listening to some of the episodes? Like, great. But I was never introduced to him to that party at Christmas. And then so I start listening to some of the episodes, and I come across that episode, I think was the first one when you got interviewed, and you were talking about building wealth and then setting up
when
an
Molly
LLC.
and I together. Yep.
Yes, and then all that stuff. And I was like, holy shit. So I'm texting the people that had organized the Christmas party, and I'm like, hey, because then I start connecting the dots, and I'm like, hold on a second. Is that the guy who was at that party that I was never introduced to? Oh no, I have to meet him. And I don't even remember his face because he was busy on the back room doing your electrical things.
Yes, playing with electricity.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he was being Newton, like.
So I am now known in this group as the electric guy. So I start off the night and I bartend, of course. And then I have this electric kit. And it is so much fun to play with.
It is really cool.
So
I
much
can't
fun.
get an image
All right, you're
of
going to
what
have
this
to
is.
expand on this. Lily and I are
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Are you
Like
Oh my gosh. It's
electrocution or like a light show or what are we talking here?
all of the above.
Oh dear God.
Lily, I'd be happy to show you. I could give you a private one-on-one session.
Short King. I one time
Sorry, trucker.
had
I
a
was just
sugar
joking,
daddy
trucker, don't hurt me.
and he liked to experiment and he had this shocking thing and he asked if he could try it on me and he tried it on me and I was like, holy fuck, that hurts.
You hate it.
No more of this.
No, so here's the difference. So there is what I like to do with electroplay is it's a device and it has power on it, so you can make it like weak or you can make it strong. Okay, but I put the person, their body becomes the conduit. So then anything that touches their body transfers the electricity. So if nothing is touching them, it's like when you have static electricity, and then when you touch it, you exchange the electricity to the end user. But what happens is if you have it lighter, based upon how many touch points, so if you pinpoint it, it's going to be more harsh. But if you have like 5 fingers, then it's going to be very, very light. And it feels like, when somebody just barely is touching your body, and it's kind of like just I call it light fingers, but they're just like barely touching your body and caressing the hairs and makes you have goosebumps and stuff like that. You guys know what I'm talking about? Anyway, it's like that. It can be like that. And so it can be like this really sensual experience, and then you can use different tools to also conduct the electricity that also do have lights and things like that, and it can be very erotic.
If you have any body piercings too,
Yeah.
That's
and then that's another level
another
we're
level.
talking
Holy
about
shit.
here.
Does this kit come with a defibrillator?
the advanced kits do. Yes. At this first party, then I'm playing with this girl, and I tie her up, so she's tied up, blindfolded, and then I'm
Blindfolded,
doing
yeah.
the electric play with her, and she's just loving it. She gets like super turned on, super wet, and then I end up going down on her and making her have this amazing orgasm while she's still electric. So your tongue and that all conducts electricity. So imagine
I
just
wish you
like
could
this
see Lily's
extra. I know
face
Lily's
now.
face.
I'm
right
just
now.
worried
It's the
about
best.
being wet and electric current. I'm so worried right now.
It's not throwing your hair dryer into
Yeah.
the tub.
It's
Don't
not a
worry,
hair dryer
that's
tub
not-
situation. No, it's very gentle. But I mean, you can turn it up to be more. But like even giving a blowjob if you're electric is really cool. Kissing when you are electric is cool. So you literally have like little bits of electricity on your lips and your tongue, and it is wild. And
So,
it is
Mel,
so
did
fun.
you participate in this at all?
So no, I did not. So then that was
was the
back
first
to-
party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back to the story then. So I listened to the episode. Then then we have the eve of the eve party. So
Second
I
party.
found out he was going to be at that party. And I said, oh my gosh, I would love to be introduced to him because I want to pick his brain. I'm a nerd, like work in business, financial services. So everything that is just like good conversations, it turns me on. So I'm like, my objective was to meet him to talk about business.
And I had no idea.
And he did not know.
My objective was to get laid multiple times.
And I remember seeing him kind of here and there throughout the party. And it was not until the end of the night
Yeah, it
or
was
the
like
morning.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Yep.
you came into the room and then you actually start doing the electrical play with me. But we just play. We did not have sex.
Okay, when you're doing the electric kissing, is it like eating Pop Rocks?
You know what? That's a pretty good analogy. It kind of is.
Okay.
And it's just like, it's a different experience and it's so much fun. And what I found is when I do it to my partner, it gets them very, very, very turned on. Especially if they're blindfolded because they don't know what's coming. And then if you have a partner who wants to be sub or put into subspace, it can be a lot more aggressive. So that night, I put a mutual friend of ours into subspace, and she has a clit piercing. And then I put a chain, and she was electric. Okay, so she has the current on her. I put a chain on her body, like a metal chain.
Yeah.
And so then if you think about a chain, I attached it to her clit piercing, and I had it run all the way up her chest to her neck. Now, if I'm not touching the chain, no electrical current is being exchanged. Okay, it just stays within her. And then when I touch the chain, then what happens is all of the points where the chain is touching her body will have a very small electrical current run through them. So she'll feel it just barely, right?
Like a vibration.
Like a vibration, yeah. And then I would raise the chain link by link off. And what that would do is that would add more power to the chains that were left. So with every chain link that came off, it would become more painful for the rest of the links that were on. And then I would lift them off until the last piece was the connection to her clit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's in subspace. It's just a whole different thing.
Well,
All electric play doesn't have to be that way.
Well, it goes without saying, kids, don't try this at home.
Yeah,
Kids don't
it's-
try
That is
Yeah,
not-
please.
It almost sounds like the sensation is like a TENS unit.
It's similar to that, but it's not even as strong.
No.
Right, so it's not even as strong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if it's not as strong,
I mean, it could be. Like you can,
Yeah.
so for instance, you can
because
put
those
a-
can get pretty.
Yeah, they can get very intense. And I have those too, because those can be fun to use sexually as well. But it was asked recently, just at the last party we were at, hey, can you teach classes on the electric play? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, because it's also really fun to facilitate other partners enjoying themselves. So we actually...
You're good at this. Yeah, you're really good at the
We had a
teaching portion.
foursome. Mel and 2 other friends had a foursome, and most of the time I was just facilitating the other couple's experience because they were new to some of the kink stuff but wanted to explore that and like how to get her into subspace. So I was just guiding him to say the right things to her to get her into subspace, and then we did something. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
Now, Mel, how tall are you?
5'7". So I'm within the range.
She's within the range, yeah.
Without heels, though, then,
Okay, so you're 5'7", and did his height even bother you at all?
No, it's just, it's interesting because his personality it's big,
Yeah, it is big.
Some other things maybe
all
big
around,
as well.
yeah, all around big, but
Yeah,
yeah. So we met that night and we did not have sex and we exchanged numbers. There was a lot going on.
There was a lot going on.
And then we met again before you went to India.
Yes. So
By
then,
the way,
no,
was I one of the 7? No.
I don't think so.
Wow.
Mel,
wow.
how old are you?
You can be August in the calendar. Isn't that
August
number
calendar,
8?
there
How
you
about
go.
September? Because it's my birthday month.
Okay.
There you go. You could be September.
Yeah, but
Are
I
you-
don't know about that. Now we're gonna
Oh,
have to
we're
have
gonna have
a
to have a conversation. Oh.
Are you a
You
Virgo?
got to make it up
I
to
am
her.
a Virgo.
Oh, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So how old are you? You don't want to say.
No.
No,
I'm
you
so
should say,
curious.
because you,
Oh yeah.
you
so this is part of the.
I mean,
one
you
of
look
our
amazing.
Like, that's
You
the
could
thing.
tell
You
me
look
any age,
amazing.
I believe
Yeah.
it.
So that was one of the things. So my first conversation with him was, I really want to go into sugar dating, but I think I'm too old for that.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Right.
Because you
We
go
hear that
in
all the time.
Yeah.
and you look at the profiles and you're going like, look at all these 20-year-old girls. And then at the same time as I am getting more involved into the lifestyle and into this world, I'm realizing I said,
No.
fuck. Oh, I mean, Yeah, screw
yeah,
You
this-
can say the fuck
You can
word.
say
Fuck
fuck.
that. I'm like, look at these girls. They don't even know what they're doing.
Right.
No offense. I know there's a lot of girls out there. They are. So please do not take offense to what I'm saying here. But it just so our conversation was very insightful. And then I remember one of the first things he said, you know, you absolutely would do great. Of course, you're not everybody's cup of tea. And it's true. Everybody has a different taste. Everybody is looking for something different. So I am 45.
Are you serious?
Does she look amazing? She just
Yeah.
like have a
If
wrinkle
she
on her
told,
face.
I thought she
know.
was going to say like 32
I
or
know.
33.
I know. 100%.
You got to be
100%.
fucking kidding me.
No.
No, I swear. Swear.
Wow.
So
I've seen her driver's license.
yeah.
So, you know what? You are in such a good niche because the serious sugar daddies, the ones with the serious money, not these
Yeah.
Splenda daddies,
Yeah.
they like somebody that still has their looks, who's older and wiser, and that who's age appropriate, that they can actually take to functions and not. The problem is, so I love my sugar baby Alejandra to death, but she's 27 years old.
Yeah.
I'm 50, about to turn 56. So when I take her to these events at these country
There
clubs,
is a big gap in
these
that.
people just look at me like I'm preying on these young women.
Which is not the case.
It's not the case.
It's the other
Or
way
like,
around.
Do you want to go to the Bon Jovi concert? And she'll be like, who's that?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and one of the things, so
You're a good niche.
she
Yeah.
really is. And one of the things I love about Mel and then Elena as well is we'll just go out and have dinner and just love conversation because Mel's such a intelligent professional. So we can have these deep conversations. We can share like things about spirituality. And it's not, you know, when I'm with a younger sugar baby, most of the time it's just like they're like listening in awe. At least I think that's in awe. Maybe they're thinking, when are we going to stop this conversation? But anyway, so they're just listening in awe.
Can you stop talking
And
and
they're
They're
not.
just smiling
They're
and
just
going, what the
smiling.
fuck is he talking
They're
Yeah.
just
about?
smiling and be like,
I thought I was here for
When do I
sex,
get the
not
money?
for conversation.
yeah. But then what I appreciate is the pushback that I'll get from my opinions with both Mel and Elena.
Yep.
If they don't agree, they'll be like, well, I don't agree with that. And that's great because that's actually what you want, somebody who's actually mentally engaged and then mentally sharp enough to have an opinion on stuff. And some of the younger sugar babies, they don't. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's nice to be challenged.
It's nice to be challenged.
So, Mel, what's your background? Have you been married, kids? What's going on here?
Yeah, being around the block 2 times.
2 times married
Yes.
to men from U.S. or
One is native from where I am.
from Brazil?
Yeah, who is the father of my son. My son is 18.
Nice.
And the other one was white American as white can be.
Yeah.
You know, the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
How long were you married the first time?
8 years.
Okay. And then the second time?
6.
6 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so I'm just kind of like I wasn't, you know, I have a good finger at picking the wrong guy.
Well, I mean, you're not the only one.
Except for Short King. Short King's been different. He's so amazing.
Oh, there's people applauding on the background.
Yeah.
That's right.
Why didn't these marriages work out?
There are different reasons, but I think that what I'm also learning recently about myself is my sexuality. I am actually in a poly relationship.
So you have somebody right now.
Yeah, they are married. And
Where did you meet him?
it's actually her. We are friends.
Dun 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 dun. What? I didn't expect that twist.
Why were you stereotyping the
That's
polys?
it. Hello. Yeah, come on.
Wow.
Because her and I have been friends for 10 plus years.
Does her husband know about this?
It's her husband.
Well, the three of them are a thruple.
We are a throuple.
Oh, okay. I got the
Yeah.
dynamic now.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
so you had okay.
Yeah. And then I've been playing with their thruple, and now we're a fruple. I don't know if that's a word.
Wow,
I don't
you
think
guys
that's a
are
word.
complicated.
Quadruple.
I like it.
You're inventing words here.
I like making it work. But then we've been playing together a lot recently, and it's just been so much fun. The whole dynamic is so fun.
Okay, so how
so
did
fun.
this whole thing come about? How did you meet this couple?
So I've been friends with her for a long time, and we used to work together.
Okay.
We went through some pretty difficult moments, like a divorce at the same time, just kind of like life changes, and that brought us together as friends. And as everybody can attest, I'm sure I'm not the only one. When you go through divorce, you have that phase that you're wild and you're just fucking everything that moves in front of you.
But I've never ever fucked anything that moves in front
no,
of me.
No, right? So we would just go out and just have a lot of fun together, and had a lot of threesomes. But our friendship is just the biggest part. So then with her second husband, now we are a thing.
So you feel like this strengthened your friendship? It didn't hurt it at all?
No, but I had my concerns in the beginning.
Yeah.
I did, because I value her
Things
so
change.
much. Exactly. And my first question to her was, if this has any slight chance of changing our friendship, I'm out. Because you are the most important person to me. And I would never put that in jeopardy. And she's like, no, absolutely not. It's being a really good learning process.
So how often do you have intimacy with the couple?
It's hard to say. It's often, but because of life and everybody, we don't always have the schedules that work and then we can get together.
Who calls who to set up the date?
See, that's different. There is no set up the date, right?
It's like, hey, Friday night, we're gonna go out.
So we hang out a lot. We hang out a lot. We do a lot of things together, and we enjoy each other's company. And that it's not always necessarily for the sex.
Yeah. I
It
got
is for the presence of being around each other. So her and I, we actually do, when he's available, we actually do FaceTime every morning for coffee.
Every morning.
Every morning. Yeah, we FaceTime. I have my coffee. She's like,
do
I'm
you,
ready.
Do you have feelings for this guy?
Of course I do. I love him.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
And her. Let's call them Rachel and Steve. Let's call them Rachel and Steve.
Rachel and Steve?
Rachel and Steve. So that way we
Okay.
can. So there's not
Yeah.
just the couple.
Steve is an amazing guy. He's kind and we have a really good connection. And the best part of it is Rachel loves that we have this connection, because I have this connection with her.
And she's not jealous?
Not at all.
Is it permissible for you and Steve to just do things kind of as a couple sometimes?
No, that's not how our dynamic is.
Okay.
We actually don't like to do things separate. It's just so
It feels
weird.
odd, doesn't it?
It feels
Yeah.
odd.
Yeah.
So we literally do family vacation together,
Yeah.
With the kids?
with the kids.
Are all the kids grown at this point?
Different ages.
They're all over the place.
Yeah,
Oh.
different ages.
The four of us have played together. So Rachel, Steve, Mel, and I have.
Of course
all
you
played
got in
together.
the mix.
Of course I got in the mix.
Oh, he's just a little weasel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he
find
weasels
his way
his way in
in.
there.
It's like, hey, let me teach you how to play with electricity while I fuck your wife.
Yeah, right. It was just an excuse. It's just the door opening for him to just.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad.
I'm curious as to, do the children understand?
They don't know.
That's what I was curious about.
Because Rachel and I have been friends for so long, the kids are so used to see me around. I'm their aunt.
I figured.
Yeah. And you babysit sometimes when,
Yeah.
for the kids.
For the
Yeah.
kids. Yeah. They travel, and 9 out of 10 times I travel with them, right? But when I can, I just hang around and hold the fort.
And I would even say because obviously we've all played together multiple times, but I would agree it would be weird to play with just one of them. Rachel and Steve are like a package.
And they are so amazing together.
They are. They're so fun
And
too.
and I have to
So
say,
fun.
the love I have for her, it's amazing. But it's interesting, our dynamic. Her and I don't play alone. Right? So people automatically think it started with the two of you. No, it's a different kind of friendship. She's like the sister.
I
never
get
had
it. Yeah. I've only had a few threesome experiences, but there was 2 girls, and then we always did stuff together. And then one time I was having intimacy with when I'm alone, and it just it
It's
was
just
like
different.
such
It's
an
not-
awkward thing because I'm
Yep.
so used to having them both together.
Yeah.
And they worked so well together. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, and Rachel is pretty good. So, and the dynamic we have, it's in public.
Mm-hmm.
I am the outgoing person, right? I walk into
I
a
find
room.
that hard to believe. You just came right in here and owned the podcast.
Oh, well, and it was hard for me to keep it low until you introduced me because
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard, and I was
Yeah.
but in the public places, I'm the outgoing. I can walk in, and I think that's part of I'm so used to networking and business and things like that, so I'm comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we go into the bedroom setting, I am very submissive.
Very submissive. You're almost a facilitator.
Yes.
Kind of
so I
when the
kinda
four of us
take-
play together, it's almost like the two, me and you, facilitate their experience. We are still everybody's having sex and everything, but we're really focused on that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I find a lot of joy doing that. I know you do too. Like we just enjoy.
Yeah, and I have no problem taking
Okay,
orders
so
from
have you explored seeking at all or gotten on the site?
So after we had our official conversation about it, and
Whether you're too old or not?
exactly, and Short King was like, "No, you should give it a try."
Did you put your real age on there?
I did.
Good for
And,
you.
and I recommended that too because it's like
did.
don't lie,
Yeah.
and you're gonna find the right people, right? Because there are people that are looking for the 40-something sugar baby because
Absolutely.
they need that in their life. They want the maturity.
Yeah.
And then you're actually here. She's actually here with another man. Can you believe that?
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Yeah, she's here with another man.
Yeah, so what are you doing in Arizona?
Oh, hello. I'm here with my sugar daddy. That it's not,
Short
Short
King.
King.
You guys just happen to be in town at the same time?
Same time.
What a coincidence.
So, okay.
What does Sugar Daddy think you're doing right now?
Yeah.
He actually knows.
And,
So
and
should've
Sugar Daddy
brought
knows
him.
about me. We're gonna try to all do drinks tonight.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I did create my profile right after Christmas, and then kind of was like, and he asked me, he's like, send me and I'll take a look. I'll give you a couple tips. And then Lily, you're going to have to help me.
I
with
will
that
help
one.
you.
Yes,
I love
please,
doing
please,
it.
Please, please. I'm trying to be as direct as possible. And it is a lot of work, right? Let's just be honest. There is a lot of, besides all the scammers.
No free money.
No. And it's just like, and also finding that fine line between your own value and keeping that. Are you willing to just be with someone for the money? Which is, I would never do that.
No.
I don't want it to feel as a transaction. So if I have no connection with you, I'm sorry, I don't care how much money you're going to offer me.
Yep.
Because that's
Lily
the
has
worst.
turned down many a big dollar amount because she just did not
But
feel it for that guy.
yeah, but then you learn by doing the first time, just going for the money, and then you walk around and you feel horrible, and that's not the whole point of the site. I think it's the enhancing the experience. It's spending time with people that are like-minded, smart. They're going to add, they're intelligent, they're going to challenge you. So it's being a lot of work finding those people. And then I found this guy.
Okay, so where's he from?
He's from Colorado.
What are you guys doing in Arizona?
He's here for business and he flew me here.
Nice.
We first met in New York a couple weeks ago, and it was so awkward. Oh my gosh, is it so awkward the first time you meet someone and you're actually
Well,
like,
it was your first sugar experience too. Like, let me just say, her profile is amazing, and she got a home run on the first try. Like the first
Yeah?
person she met.
Nice.
Yeah, continue. You're doing great.
we start talking, and I really appreciate, sugar daddies out there or the ones that are thinking about it. Be direct when you approach the girls. Tell what you're looking for, because there's a lot of guys like, well, I'm looking for spending time. I was like, no, what do you want to? Tell me, like, how many times you want to see someone, you want to like travel, you want to go out for dinner. Are you looking for, a PPM? Are you looking for an allowance? Like, what is your expectation out of this? Have you had experience before? Because I'm finding there's a lot of people that say they had experience, but it's a freaking lie.
Yeah.
Well, you're
It's
learning
true.
very quickly.
Well, and she got a great. You really like this guy?
I like this guy. He is 44, actually. And so he flew me to New York a couple weeks ago. We spent a day and a half together. Then we were just going to meet actually next week in Miami. And then he called me last week and he's like, hey, actually, can you come to Arizona?
So what kind of industry is he in?
Construction.
Construction. Okay.
So with your career, you have plenty of vacation days or time to travel, or you work from home, or
Yeah, I work from home. I'm actually in transition, so I kind of like took a little bit of sabbatical, which is giving me the opportunity to really like deep dive into the sugar dating
isn't it
world.
so nice to have the freedom to travel whenever you want?
I love it. I think my longest relationship that I had my whole entire life is with the airport. The
Yeah.
airport and the airlines.
Yeah.
That's it. So then that's how I'm here. And then we, Short King and I and another group of friends were in a party last weekend in Chicago. And I said, hey, I'm going to be in Arizona. He's like, me too. And he's like, let's go and
Wow.
talk
That's
to Marcus
crazy.
and Lily. Yeah.
How fun, huh? Yeah.
Small world. And then, yeah, I've met, and this was funny. When I came back, I went out with Elena for sushi because that was what I was craving. I was like, I haven't had anything exciting for food. So I had great sushi. But I went out with Elena, and we're sitting there, we're talking, and we discover that I think she calls him Maui.
Oh,
Yes,
right.
Maui.
Yeah.
because she's there right now.
Yeah,
right? Like
I s-
I
I
talked to
saw.
her just yesterday, just messaging her. She's having an amazing time.
Good.
Like, she's
Good.
loving her trip so much. So
Yeah, we talked about that on her episode.
she thinks it's beautiful there, and I think it's gonna be like one of the top experiences of her life up till this point. She's so happy. So anyway, so I was talking to her, and Maui and myself, we actually share 3 women. And we
That's so
discovered this
interesting.
at dinner. We have 3
you know, the
women in
sugar
common.
dating world can be kind of small.
I'm
And-
finding that out.
Yeah, and then it was even crazier. So we're sitting there, and she's talking about that she discovered that we have 3 women in common, or me and Maui. And like 10 minutes later, so this is like the universal energy, just like channeling all this stuff. A few minutes later, she gets a message from Maui. Hey, we're out having drinks at this other place. Do you guys want to join us? And so we're like, sure. So he's out with one of the sugar babies that we share. I think her name in here is T. I think they called her T.
Okay.
Anyway, so we join Maui and T for drinks, and then the funniest thing happens. We end up swapping partners, and I go home with T, and he goes home with Elena.
How funny.
Wow.
Well, speaking of Elena, I'm trying to get her Dom, aka Sir, scheduled.
Yes, so he's actually coming to Scottsdale next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to figure out a time slot. So I
Yeah.
got to get with you, Marcus, about
Wow.
He is.
That.
He
We've got a
is-
lot of good guests.
We thought he was going to be here this
We
week
thought he was
too.
this week because we were at the same party at his house. But he is a very, very accomplished dom, and he also he's very connected to the Sex Party Network. So one of the biggest and most well-known sex party organizations is called. And like if you're a single male, to be a member of is like $25,000 a year. It's very expensive, and it's curated. Like if you're a couple, part of the application process is you have to send in photos of you. I think you might even have to send in naked photos. It's a $500 application fee. And then as a couple, I think it's like $12,000 a year to be a part of this group. It is, eyes wide shut, like that whole
Okay.
idea. When you go to a party with there's a show, everybody wears masks, and it's like that tuxedos, extremely opulent, very
It is very
high class,
upscale.
very
We're talking
upscale.
about VIP stuff.
Have you guys both been to these?
No, I have
Unfortunately, not
that
yet.
level, not yet.
Not yet.
But he is instrumental in that world to the point where he's working on having a event in Chicago. And so I think people are coming like at the end of March or something to meet and look at facilities to host this.
Is it a
high-end party.
membership only type thing?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. And
So-
then only 100 people, I believe, can come to a party. And I think when I was reading on their website, I think it's like a 3-to-1. I think they have to have 3 women for every 1 guy. So it's because when you
That is
typical
so unfair.
what? No, that's amazing.
No, for
Because
you.
because if you go to the average sex party, it's like a circle jerk. You have like
Yeah,
you
I
have
can
like
imagine.
25 guys and 1 girl, and she's she might not even be attractive, and then everybody's just watching her have sex and jerking off. That's not fun.
So can the members invite non-member women?
See, I don't know all of the details about that. That's a good question.
I
don't
have
know.
so many questions for Sir.
So, Sir, yeah, and that's what we'll call him, Sir.
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 Yeah. So, Sir also has some very interesting techniques for subspace, and the most crazy experience happened just before we came here, where she was getting punished by Sir, and
I got in trouble.
She got in trouble.
Mel did?
Mel got in trouble, and she was getting 50 spankings.
Loose lips.
Loose lips.
Sink sips.
Loose lips sinks ships.
Yep.
Yes.
And so, but what the coolest
say.
part about that is at the end, I didn't even know this was a thing. And I am very well versed in the BDSM kink community. I didn't even know this was a thing. If you take cocaine and you put a little water on it, and then you rub that on skin, or in this case, it was Mel's ass, and you rub that on there, and then with great force, you take a flat paddle and you spank that cocaine. It forces that into her body.
What?
And I will let her
What did
take
that
it from
feel
there.
like?
Yeah. What did? Because we haven't actually been able to. Because I went from that party. I hopped on an airplane to fly down to Mexico directly from that party. So I didn't even get to like debrief with Mel after that party.
Well, I was about to wrap up, but I got to find out.
Yeah.
I know, we're already 10 minutes over.
Oh my
But
goodness.
you have to tell. I have no idea what that felt like, but I just saw the reactions.
It's almost like a high, like a different way. Like there's a tingling sensation that goes through your entire body, and it just kind of starts slow, and then it's just gradually increases, and then it's almost like you have this tingling, and similar to an orgasm.
So did the liquid cocaine application come at the beginning of the 50 lashes or at the end?
It was at the last 2 ones.
Oh, goodness.
So it was the closing with the ribbon.
Okay, when you take,
Wow.
I have to know,
That's so crazy.
when you take that many lashes in a row, does it keep hurting or does it kind of become numb or?
I have just start recently exploring into the BDSM. So there's what they call being subspace. You're physically there, but emotionally you are in somewhere else. You feel the sensation, but it's almost the pain. It's not there. And it turns into pleasure.
And then what's the recovery from something like that like?
It wasn't too bad.
Were you bruised?
Not bad.
Not bad.
No, because you wanted to be in a bathing suit.
Yeah,
and like he
because I
asked
said,
ahead
hey,
of time.
yeah, I said, I
Like-
gotta be with my sugar daddy and I
And,
really want to go to the pool. So go easy on me.
Planned it on purpose, but like even so, got a really, really, really bad spanking. Probably one of the worst I've seen. And then she came over to my house like the next day, and she could barely sit.
It was black and blue.
Yeah, I
black
tell you,
and
I
blue.
got 50 lashes from my dad when I was a kid, and
Oh man,
I'm telling you what, that was a different experience.
Did not.
What was his
I did.
favorite weapon of choice?
His belt,
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
and I had to
Yeah.
walk to his closet and grab it for him.
That's bad.
That's the longest walk in the history of walks.
but it's
Oh
but
my
that's the
God.
thing with
What
subspace.
had you done?
I set the yard on fire.
Well, then you deserve that.
I was playing with matches. Yeah, I was 7.
50 was not enough.
You play with fire, you,
You
get
never set
burned.
another yard on fire after that.
I'll never forget that though.
But that's what's interesting with and I think shared when she was on here, when she was put in subspace, all of her boundaries kind of disappeared. She had never, up until that point in time, been spanked so hard so many times, but it was a turn on for her. And then she ended up losing her anal virginity at that moment in time too, and not even like it was pleasurable for her, you know? And Sir is also a well-endowed gentleman,
Very much so.
and also meaning I am too.
Alrighty.
Just for clarification
Just for
purposes.
clarification, clarification.
Okay. Well, thank you, Short
Marcus
King.
is red right now.
Well, no, I look at.
How do I follow
I
that
look
up?
at Lily, and then the visualization just got to be too much.
Too much.
And
We got cocaine on
oh
ass.
my
and-
god.
What are you going to name this episode?
Oh, it's something about electricity. I've already got an idea.
Cocaine, electricity. I don't know.
I've got some ideas. We'll encounter that here in a few weeks when we actually release it. But we got some good episodes coming up. We got somebody coming into town, a sugar daddy, is going to be our next episode.
Yes.
And we're recording that one right after yours.
Wonderful.
And that's going to be a good one. And then we've got some good people coming. Oh, we've got a married sugar baby that's coming on the show in a couple weeks.
Is she the one that wrote the letter?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
wrote a
yep.
letter. She has her own podcast studio that her sugar daddy built her in his house, and she is absolutely in love, happily ever after, met the man of her dreams. So we're excited to talk to her about that. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. So
I'm enjoying catching up.
yeah, you've got some good episodes from where I know you're at to where we are now.
Well, and I talked to someone who helps with your social media
Uh-huh.
because I've been trying to meet up with her. And she's like, I'm older, like, she's like, I think you're the type that just wants these younger girls. No.
Au
like-
contraire, mon frère.
don't
No.
discriminate.
I was like, I am about connecting with human beings and having great experiences. So I am not going to discriminate.
Okay, and more bullshit from Short King. All right, well, we really got to wrap up. If you guys want to share your crazy sugar dating stories, much like these, go to our website at secretsofasugardaddy.com and follow us on Instagram. But most importantly, we want you to become a VIP member of our show. And you can go to patreon.com/Secrets of a Sugar Daddy podcast. Well, thanks for coming to do this in person all the way from Chicago.
Every time I'm in town, I would love to record an episode. You guys are so
Absolutely.
much fun, and I appreciate it so much.
Thanks for bringing Mel. Mel, glad
Mel's
to have you on the
amazing, right?
show.
Thank you, guys. Love being here.
I'll tell you, just all kinds of different dynamics enter our lives, and I just feel like Mel's one of those.
Mel is
you're
now.
pretty
I mean, she's going to
incredible.
come to the next party. I mean,
Yeah.
Mel is
Oh,
Mel
yeah,
is a
would
part of the
love
You'll
show.
have
to.
to. Oh,
yeah.
And we gotta bring Steve and
We'll bring
Rachel.
we'll bring Steve and
Please
Rachel. Would be
do.
great.
Oh my
yeah.
god! And you guys are gonna love.
You're gonna love
them.
they have
And
great
she's
energy.
so
Even-
fucking hot.
Yeah.
She is, yeah.
Oh, gorgeous.
We can even do a Zoom call if they're not traveling.
All right,
For like
so
a, yeah.
we're going to plan our next party this week, Lily. We got to get
Okay.
that going.
Hey, and I will be the bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will be the bartender.
Well,
'cause I
I'm
love
in the
doing that.
midst of moving, but my new house is massive.
We can have a housewarming party.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh my God.
Once it's
Look at me
ready.
inviting myself.
They've got a great spot for a party
Entertaining.
house.
Oh,
entertaining
yeah.
house. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
but
it's-
we just have a few renovations we want to knock out.
yeah. Okay.
Well, hey, if you need a place, you can go online and
I was
find
thinking
contractors.
I
right?
would try this bid on work
Bid
thing.
on work
Yeah.
I
thing.
hear
That
rumor
might work.
about.
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, help me out here. I spent the life saving. I spent like 3 life savings on this thing.
You
so-
cannot even have any more sugar babies.
I
It's
know.
Yeah.
all invested in the site
I
now.
know it is. All right. Well, we really got to go. Thanks, guys. Once again, Lily, always lovely. Hey, we're going to throw a picture of her boots and her outfit
Yup.
on Patreon. So you guys want to see that. Okay. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to connect or even be on the show, we'd love to hear from you at secretsofasugardaddy.com.